Admiral Dae-ho Kim stood at the wide window of Luna Command. Earth hung like a blue jewel against the black of space. His gray uniform felt tight around his neck today. 50 years of service to Earth's Space Defense Force had earned him respect, but also many worries. "Admiral, they're ready for you," said a young officer behind him. Dae-ho nodded and turned away from the view. His steps were heavy as he walked to the meeting room. The emergency call had come 3 hours ago. He knew what it was about. The meeting. Room was already full. 20 men and women in uniform sat around a large round table. Screens on the walls showed maps of space and pictures of alien ships. "Let's begin," Dae-ho said as he took his seat. General Wong stood up. "The Galactic Council sent this message 1 hour ago." She touched a button, and a new screen lit up. The face on the screen wasn't human. It had gray-blue skin, 4 eyes, and no nose. When it spoke, its wide mouth showed sharp teeth. "People of Earth," the alien said. "This is High Speaker Kryvax of the Galactic Council. Your new ship breaks our laws. The vessel you call Thunderchild uses technology that all 17 Council races have agreed not to use. You must take the ship apart within 10 Earth days. If you do not, we will take steps to protect galactic peace." The screen went dark. The room was quiet. "They're afraid," said a voice from the end of the table. All heads turned to look at Captain Soo-min Park. She was young for her rank, only 32 years old. Her black hair was cut short and her eyes were sharp and clear. "The Thunderchild doesn't break any treaties we signed," Soo-min continued. "They just don't want us to have it." "Captain Park is right," said Jinna Kang, the head of intelligence. Jinna tapped her screen, and new pictures appeared on the wall. "These are ships being built by the Vraxians and the Krell. Both use quantum drives like ours. They call them by different names, but the technology is the same." Dae-ho frowned. "So they can build these ships, but we can't?" "Exactly," Jinna said. "The Council has always worked this way. The old races make rules that keep the new ones weak." General Wong shook her head. "But we can't fight the whole Council. They have thousands of ships." "They won't all fight together," Jinna said. "Many Council races don't agree with each other. Some might even help us." Soo-min stood up. She was not tall, but she seemed to fill the room with her energy. "The Thunderchild is ready to fly. My crew is the best Earth has. Let us take her out before the Council can stop us." Dae-ho looked at the young captain. He had chosen her himself to lead Earth's most important ship. "You understand what you're asking? If you leave, you might not be able to come back. Not until this is settled." "I understand," Soo-min said. Her voice was steady. "But Earth needs to show the galaxy that we won't be pushed around. The Thunderchild is our best chance to do that." A new alarm sounded. One of the officers checked his screen. 6 Council ships just entered the outer solar system. They're heading this way. Dae-ho didn't need long to decide. "Captain Park, get to your ship. Take the Thunderchild out through the Beta route. It's not on any star maps." Soo-min nodded sharply and left the room at once. "Admiral," General Wong said quietly, "this could start a war." "No," Dae-ho said. "This ends the war they've been waging against us since first contact. They've kept us down with unfair treaties and threats. It's time to stand up." The Thunderchild sat in its underground dock beneath the Sea of Tranquility. It was huge, over 2 kilometers long. Its dark hull seemed to swallow light. No other ship in human history looked like it. Soo-min took a small shuttle from Luna. "Command to the dock." Her second-in-command, Do-hyun Lee, waited at the entrance. "We're ready, Captain," Do-hyun said. "All crew are on board." "Good. We leave in 30 minutes. As they walked through the ship, crew members stopped and saluted. Everyone knew something big was happening. Soo-min reached the bridge and took her seat in the command chair. Around her, officers worked at their stations. The main screen showed the closed dock doors above them. "Status report," Soo-min ordered. "All systems green," said Mi-suk Choi, the chief engineer. Her hands moved quickly over her controls. "The quantum drive is stable." "Weapons ready," reported Do-hyun from the tactical station. Communications secure, said Ji-hoon-yoon, looking up from his screen. Soo-min took a deep breath. Open a channel to Luna Command. Admiral Daeho's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired but determined. The council ships are still 3 hours out, he said, but our long-range scans show more coming from other directions. You need to leave now. Understood, Soo-min replied. Admiral, we won't let Earth down. Daeho's face softened for a moment. I know you won't, Captain. Good hunting. The screen went back to showing the dock. Open the doors, Soo-min ordered. Slowly, the massive doors above the ship slid apart. The black of space appeared through the opening. Main drives online, Mi-suk reported. Ready for launch. Soo-min leaned forward in her chair. Take us up, steady and slow. No need to rush. The Thunderchild rose from its dock, thrusters glowing, blue in the darkness. It passed through the doors and out into space. Set course for the Beta route, Soo-min said. Standard speed until we're past Mars. The ship turned smoothly and began to move away from the moon. Captain, called Taewon, back from the AI station. The ship systems are working better than in our tests. The AI is adapting quickly. Soo-min nodded. The Thunderchild's artificial intelligence was as new and untested as the rest of the ship. It was good to hear it was working well. Captain, incoming message from Earth, Ji-hoon said suddenly. It's being broadcast everywhere. On screen, Soo-min ordered. The face of Earth's president appeared. She looked serious but calm. People of Earth and Luna, she said. An hour ago, the Galactic Council demanded that we destroy our newest ship, the Thunderchild. This demand goes against all our agreements with the Council. It shows that they do not see us as equals. The president paused. I have ordered the Thunderchild to leave our solar system on a mission of exploration and diplomacy. We hope the Council will choose to talk with us as friends, but if they choose another path, they will learn that Earth is not weak. Soo-min felt pride swell in her chest. The president was backing them completely. Message from Admiral Kim. Ji-hoon reported. Text only. Soo-min read the message on her small screen. New orders. Proceed to Sanctuary Outpost. Protect our people there. Show the Council what humanity can do. Soo-min looked up at her crew. 100 men and women, the best Earth had to offer. The first crew of Earth's first Star Destroyer. Set course for the Sanctuary system, she ordered. Prepare the quantum drive. As the Thunderchild passed Mars, the quantum drive hummed to life. Space seemed to bend around the ship and then it was gone, moving faster than any human vessel had ever traveled before. The silence of space was about to be broken. The Thunderchild moved through quantum space like a shark through dark water. Inside the ship, the crew worked in shifts, keeping all systems running smoothly. Captain Soo-min Park hadn't slept much in the 3 days since they left Earth. There was too much to do. Captain, we're approaching the exit point, Mi-suk Choi called from her station. The chief engineer's fingers danced over her screen. Quantum drive is stable. Soo-min nodded. Prepare to return to normal space. All stations, report. Weapons ready, said Do-hyun Lee. His face was serious as he checked his systems. Shields at full power, reported another officer. Communications ready, said Ji-hoon-yoon. Though we haven't received any signals from Sanctuary yet. Soo-min frowned. That was strange. The Sanctuary outpost should have seen them coming. Keep trying. 10 seconds to exit, Mi-suk announced. Soo-min gripped the arms of her command chair. Leaving quantum space always felt like a sudden drop, even with the ship's gravity systems. 3, 2, 1. Exiting now. The view on the main screen changed from the swirling colors of quantum space to the clear black of normal space. Stars appeared and a red-orange planet filled part of the screen. Sanctuary system confirmed, said the navigation officer. We're right where we should be. Still no response from the outpost, Ji-hoon said, worry clear in his voice. Soo-min was about to order a closer approach when Taewon Baek called out from the AI station. Captain, the ship's sensors are picking up energy readings near the moon of the planet. Weapons fire. On screen, maximum zoom, Soo-min ordered. The view changed. to show the small gray moon that orbited the red planet. The Earth outpost was built there, hidden in a deep crater, but now Sumin could see flashes of light around it. 3 ships attacking the outpost, Do-hyun reported, his voice tight. Design matches Vraxian war vessels. Sumin felt cold anger rise in her chest. The Vraxians were one of the newer council races, always eager to prove themselves to the older ones. Battle stations, she said calmly. Shields up. Prepare main weapons. Alarms sounded throughout the ship. Crew members who had been resting rushed to their posts. Can we contact the outpost now? Sumin asked. Ji-hoon shook his head. They might be jamming signals. Wait, I'm getting something weak. A broken voice came through the speakers. Under attack. 3 days. Shields failing. Anyone? Help. Sumin stood up from her chair. Set course for the outpost. Full speed. The Thunderchild's engines roared to life, pushing the massive ship forward faster than any normal vessel could. Move. Vraxian ships haven't seen us yet, Do-hyun said. Good. Let's keep it that way until we're closer, Sumin replied. Mi-suk, is the quantum jump system ready for short-range use? The engineer looked surprised. Yes, but we've never used it. In combat, it's not tested. It's about to be, Sumin said. Calculate a jump that will put us between the outpost and the largest Vraxian ship. Mi-suk nodded and began working quickly. As they approached, the crew could see more clearly what was happening. 3 Vraxian ships, shaped like curved blades, were firing on the small human outpost. The outpost's shields were visible as flickers of blue light, but they were failing. Vraxians have spotted us, Do-hyun reported. 2 smaller ships are breaking off to intercept. They're sending a message, Ji-hoon said. A harsh voice filled the bridge. Human vessel, this is Commander Rek of the Vraxian Peacekeeping Force. You are interfering in council business. Leave this system or be destroyed. Sumin laughed softly. Peacekeeping? Is that what they call this? She nodded to Ji-hoon, who opened a channel. Vraxian vessels, this is Captain Sumin Park of the Earth defense ship Thunderchild. You are attacking an Earth outpost without cause. Power down your weapons and leave this system. Jump ready, Captain, Mi-suk said quietly. Stand by, Sumin replied. The Vraxian commander's voice came back, full of scorn. You are 1 ship. We are 3. Your outpost has broken council laws by testing banned technology. We are authorized to destroy it. Sumin's eyes hardened. All hands, prepare for combat. Mi-suk, execute the jump on my mark. The 2 smaller Vraxian ships were approaching fast, their weapons powering up. The Thunderchild was still too far away to help the outpost with normal movement. Mark, Sumin said. Mi-suk pressed her controls. The quantum drive hummed louder than before. Space around the Thunderchild seemed to bend, twist, and then the ship appeared directly between the main Vraxian vessel and the human outpost. One moment they weren't there, the next they were. Surprise was total. The Vraxian ship caught in mid-attack fired its weapons directly into the Thunderchild's shields. Shields holding, reported the defense officer, sounding amazed. No damage. They're trying to maneuver away, Do-hyun said. Sumin smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Don't let them. Target their engines and weapons. Fire. The Thunderchild's weapons, activated for the first time in real combat. Beams of energy lanced out, cutting through the Vraxian ship's shields like they weren't there. Direct hits, Do-hyun reported. Their shields are down to 20%. Their engines are damaged. The other 2 ships are coming back, warned the sensor officer. Let them come, Sumin said. Do-hyun, prepare the main weapon. The tactical officer's eyes widened. The gravitational shear cannon, we've never fired it outside of tests. Today is a day for firsts, Sumin replied. Target the lead ship. The Thunderchild turned slightly, bringing its front section to bear on the larger of the 2 approaching Vraxian vessels. Cannon charging, Do-hyun reported. 80%. 90. Ready to fire. Sumin watched the enemy ships grow larger. On the screen, They were firing now, their weapons splashing against the Thunderchild's shields. Their weapons have no effect, the defense officer said with pride in her voice. Fire the main cannon, Su-min ordered. There was no beam, no visible energy blast. Instead, space itself seemed to distort in a line between the Thunderchild and the Vraxian ship. The enemy vessel shuddered, then began to split apart as if an invisible knife were cutting it from front to back. In seconds, the Vraxian ship was in two pieces, systems failing, atmosphere venting into space. The bridge crew of the Thunderchild fell silent, shocked at the power of their own weapon. The remaining Vraxian ships were turning away, their engines glowing as they tried to escape. "Captain," Ji-hoon said, "the Vraxian commander is hailing us." Su-min nodded. On screen, the alien face that appeared looked afraid. Commander Vrek's four eyes blinked rapidly. What was that weapon?" he asked. "That," Su-min said calmly. "Was Earth saying hello?" The Vraxian commander swallowed. "We will withdraw, but the council will hear of this." "Good," Su-min replied. "Tell them exactly what happened here. Tell them that Earth will no longer stand idle while others determine our fate. Tell them that the silence of space is no more." The connection cut off. The Vraxian ships accelerated away, soon jumping to faster than light speed. "Contact the outpost," Su-min ordered. "Let's see what damage has been done." As the crew carried out her orders, Su-min walked to the front of the bridge and looked out at the stars. The Thunderchild had won its first battle, but she knew it would not be the last. The silence of space had been broken, and the galaxy would never be the same. News travels fast, even across the vast emptiness of space. 3 days after the battle at Sanctuary, the recording of the Thunderchild splitting a Vraxian warship in two had spread throughout the galaxy. The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. In the great domed chamber on the station known as the Nexus, representatives of 17 advanced species gathered. The chamber was designed to make all feel comfortable, despite their different needs. Some breathed special gases. Others needed higher or lower gravity. A few could not bear the touch of light. High Speaker Kryvax stood in the center. His gray-blue skin looked pale under the lights. "This human ship must be stopped," he said, his four eyes blinking fast. "They have killed Vraxian citizens who were carrying out council orders." "Were they?" asked a soft voice. All heads turned. Eliana, the representative of the Lumina, floated forward. The Lumina were one of the oldest races in the council. Their bodies were made of crystal that glowed with inner light. "Our information shows that the outpost was a simple research station," Eliana continued. "It broke no laws. The Vraxians attacked without council approval," Kryvax hissed. "The humans are developing weapons that could threaten us all." "As are the Krell," Eliana replied calmly. "And the Vraxians, and you, Kryvax." The chamber filled with angry shouts. The meeting was breaking down into chaos. On the Thunderchild, Captain Su-min Park watched the report of the council meeting on her screen. Intelligence Officer Jinna Kang had sent it from Earth. "The council is splitting into groups," Su-min told her officers. "Some want to destroy us. Others think we should be left alone. And some want to talk to us," added Ji-hoon Yoon from his communications station. "I've received messages from 3 different species asking for private meetings." Su-min nodded. "It's starting, just as Admiral Kim predicted. Our show of strength is changing things." "Captain," Tae-Wan Beck called from the AI station. "I'm picking up strange signals. They're coming from inside our ship." Everyone on the bridge went quiet. "What kind of signals?" Su-min asked. "Encrypted transmissions," Tae-Wan replied. "Very short bursts. The ship's AI just noticed the pattern. Someone is sending messages out trying to hide them in our normal communications." Su-min's face hardened. "A spy?" "It looks that way," Tae-Wan said. "And there's more. The last 3 places we stopped, the signals went out just before we left. Someone is sharing our movements." Now Su-min understood why enemy ships kept finding them. The Thunderchild had escaped 4 more attacks in the past 3 days by using the quantum drive to jump away. Security Chief Huang, Su Min called. Yunji Huang stepped forward. She was a small woman, but her eyes missed nothing. Yes, Captain? Find out who's sending these signals. Check everyone, even the officers. Yunji nodded and left the bridge. Admiral Kim has sent new orders, Su Min told the others. We're to meet with representatives from potential allies in the Helios cluster. Du Hyun Lee frowned. That's close to Krell space. Very dangerous. Yes, Su Min agreed. But we need allies. Earth can't stand alone against the whole council. The ship is ready, Mi-suk Choi reported from her engineering station. The quantum drive is working perfectly. The weapons are at full power. Su Min smiled at her crew. Good. We'll head to Helios. But first I want to talk to Security Chief Huang. Yunji Huang's office was small and plain. Only the many screens on the walls showed her important role on the ship. When Su Min entered, Yunji stood up quickly. Captain, I've started checking the crew, but it will take time. Su Min sat down. I have an idea. Instead of just finding the spy, let's use them. Yunji's eyes widened. How? We'll give them false information, Su Min explained. Let them send it out. Then we can set a trap. Slowly, Yunji smiled. Very clever, Captain. What information should we plant? Let's tell them we're going to the Cygnus system for repairs. But really, we'll be waiting near the pulsar in the Helios cluster. When our enemies come looking for us in Cygnus, we'll be safe. Yunji nodded. I'll continue looking for the spy, but I'll also help spread this false information where they'll find it. Su Min stood up. Good. Also, we need to prepare for the meetings in Helios. 3 species want to talk to us. We need to be ready. The great ship moved through quantum space, silent and powerful. On the bridge, Captain Su Min was reading reports from Earth when Ji-hoon called out. Captain, incoming transmission from Admiral Kim. On screen, Su Min ordered. Admiral Dae-ho Kim's face appeared. He looked tired, with new lines around his eyes. Captain Park, he said. The situation has changed. The Krell have left the Council. They're sending their battle fleet to find and destroy the Thunderchild. Su Min felt cold. The Krell were the most warlike species in the galaxy. Their ships were not as advanced as the Thunderchild, but they had many more of them. How many ships? She asked. At least 30, Admiral Kim replied. Led by War Master Drosk himself. Everyone on the bridge knew that name. Drosk had destroyed entire planets in the war against the Narn 10 years ago. We'll be ready, Su Min, said. Admiral Kim nodded. There's more. 3 council races have secretly contacted Earth. They want to support us. They're tired of the old powers controlling everything. Which races? Su Min asked. The Lumina, the Teth, and the Solari. All younger species like us. They want to meet with you in the Helios cluster. Su Min glanced at Ji-hoon. That matches the messages we've received. Be careful, Captain, Admiral Kim warned. This could be a trap. The Krell are hunting you, and we still don't know who the spy on your ship is. We have a plan for that, Su Min assured him. We've leaked false information. The Krell will be looking for us in the wrong place. After the call ended, Su Min turned to her crew. Set course for the Helios pulsar. We'll hide in its shadow and wait. The pulsar's radiation will make it hard for them to find us, Mi-suk noted. Good choice. What about the spy? Du Hyun asked. Su Min smiled. Security Chief Huang is closing in. But until then, we've made sure they've seen our plans to go to Cygnus. The trap is set. 3 days later, the Thunderchild waited. In the shadow of the Helios pulsar, the massive star spun rapidly, sending out pulses of radiation that would hide the ship from most sensors. Krell battle group detected, reported the sensor officer. They're entering the Cygnus system, just as we planned. A cheer went up on the bridge, quickly silenced by Su Min's raised hand. They'll figure out they've been tricked soon enough, she said. And our real meeting is about to begin. Are the representatives ready to come aboard? Yes, Captain, Ji-hoon replied. 3 small ships are approaching, 1 each from the Lumina, the Teth, and the Solari. Good. Prepare to receive them. Just then, Yunji Huang's voice came over the comm system. Captain, I need to speak with you urgently. Su Min frowned. I'll be in my ready room. Do-hyun, you have the bridge. In her small office off the bridge, Soo-min found Yoon-ji waiting with a grim face. I've found the spy, Yoon-ji said without greeting. It's Lieutenant Kang. Soo-min felt like she'd been hit. Jinnah? But she's not even on the ship, she's on Earth. Not that Kang, Yoon-ji replied. Minho Kang in communications. He's been sending coded messages hidden in our regular transmissions. Arrest. Him? Soo-min ordered. Quietly. Yoon-ji nodded. Already done. But Captain, there's something else. The last message he sent, it wasn't about Cygnus. He somehow learned our real destination. Soo-min's blood went cold. The Helios pulsar. Yes. And he sent that information 3 hours ago. Soo-min rushed. Back to the bridge. Sensors full sweep. Check for any ships near our position. The officer worked quickly, then looked up with fear in his eyes. Captain. Large group of ships just dropped out of faster-than-light travel. They're Krell. At least 20 vessels heading straight for us. On the main screen they could see them. Krell battle cruisers, their hulls covered in weapons. Red alert, Soo-min ordered. All hands to battle stations. Cancel the meeting with the Allies. Tell them to get away while they can. The warning klaxons sounded throughout the Thunderchild. The trap had been turned against them. The lead Krell ship is hailing us, Ji-hoon reported. On screen, Soo-min said, her voice deadly calm. The face that appeared was like a nightmare. Gray skin stretched tight over a skull-like face. Black, eyes with no pupils, sharp teeth in a mouth that never seemed to close. I am War Master Drosk, the Krell said, and you humans are about to die. Shields at maximum, Soo-min ordered, her voice steady despite the danger. Prepare all weapons. The face of War Master Drosk still filled the main screen. His black eyes showed no emotion, but his mouth formed what might have been a smile. Your ship impressed the galaxy by destroying one Vraxian vessel, Drosk said. But I have 20 ships. You cannot win. Soo-min stood up from her command chair. She looked at the Krell without fear. We don't need to win, War Master. We just need to hurt you badly enough that you'll remember it. She nodded to Ji-hoon, who cut the connection. The enemy fleet is moving to surround us. Do-hyun reported from the tactical station. Soo-min turned to Mi-suk. Can we jump away using the quantum drive? The engineer shook her head. Not for at least 10 minutes. The pulsar's radiation is affecting the drive. We need time to reset it. Then we fight, Soo-min said. Do-hyun, target the nearest 3 Krell ships with our main weapons. Fire when ready. The Thunderchild's weapons came to life. Beams of energy shot out, hitting the first Krell ship. Its shields flared bright but held. Their shields are stronger than the Vraxians, Do-hyun said, sounding surprised. The Krell have been preparing for us, Soo-min realized. They studied the recordings of our battle with the Vraxians. The Krell ships opened fire. Dozens of energy beams struck the Thunderchild. From all sides. Shields holding at 87%, reported the defense officer. Return fire, Soo-min ordered. All weapons. The space around the Thunderchild lit up with energy blasts. 3 Krell ships took direct hits. 2 had their shields collapse. The third spun away, damaged. But there were still 17 more. They kept firing, their attacks becoming more coordinated. Shields down to 60%, the defense officer called out. 53%. Mi-suk looked up from her station. Captain, at this rate our shields will fail in less than 10 minutes. Soo-min's mind raced. They needed a new tactic. The gravitational shear cannon, she said. Prepare to fire it. It's ready, Do-hyun said. But the Krell ships are spreading. Out. The cannon can only hit one at a time, and it takes 3 minutes to recharge between shots. A loud boom shook the ship. Everyone grabbed hold of something to stay on their feet. Direct hit to our outer hull, Mi-suk reported. Section 12. No major damage, but shields are down to 40%. Another blast hit them, then another. 32%, called the defense officer. 25. Soo-min knew they were running out of time. She looked at the tactical display. The Krell ships had formed a sphere around the Thunderchild, attacking. From all directions at once. We need a way to hit multiple ships at the same time, she said. Do-hyun shook his head. None of our weapons can do that. What about the quantum drive? Sumin asked, turning to Mi-suk. The engineer looked confused. The drive? It's for movement, not weapons. It affects space itself, Sumin said. What if we modified it? Could we create a distortion field around the ship? Mi-suk's eyes widened as she understood. You want to distort space around us? That's never been done before. Can it be done? Sumin pressed. Mi-suk thought for a moment. Maybe. The drive creates a bubble of altered spacetime. If we reversed the field, turned it outward instead of using it to move the ship. Another hit, shouted the defense officer. Shields at 18%. The lights on the bridge flickered. Smoke began to rise from one of the control panels. Do it, Sumin ordered. Mi-suk, work with Taewon. Use the ship's AI to help calculate the adjustments. Mi-suk and Taewon bent over their stations working frantically. The ship shook again and again as Krell weapons found their mark. Shields at 12%, the defense officer reported. 10%. We can't take much more. Firing the gravitational shear cannon, Do-hyun announced. The powerful weapon activated. One of the Krell ships split in half, its pieces drifting apart. Good shot, Sumin said. But we need more. Captain, Mi-suk called. We think we can do it, but there's a risk. This kind of space distortion, it could damage the Thunderchild too. Sumin looked around the bridge. They were running out of options. How soon can you be ready? 2 minutes, Mi-suk said. Another violent shake threw people from their seats. Warning alarms blared throughout the ship. Shields at 5%, the defense officer said, fear clear in his voice. Hull breaches on decks 5 through 9. Emergency systems responding. 1 minute, Captain, Mi-suk reported, still working. On the main screen, Sumin could see the Krell ships closing in for the kill. War Master Drosk's vessel was largest, its weapons glowing as they prepared to fire again. All crew, brace for impact, Sumin ordered over the ship-wide system. Emergency power to shields. The next hit nearly knocked Sumin off her feet. The bridge lights went out, then emergency lights came on, bathing everything in red. Shields. Failed, the defense officer shouted. Next hit will... Ready, Mi-suk called out. The quantum field is reconfigured. Activate it now, Sumin ordered. Mi-suk pressed a series of controls. The ship hummed with power as the quantum drive engaged in a way it was never designed to do. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then, Sumin felt a strange sensation, as if the air itself was stretching. On the main screen, the stars appeared to bend and twist. It's working, Mi-suk whispered. Space around the Thunderchild distorted, stretching outward in all directions like ripples in water. When the distortion reached the Krell ships, they began to shake violently. Their hulls can't handle the spatial stress, Taewon reported, watching his screens. The distortion is tearing them apart. One by one, the Krell ships began to break up. Not cleanly like with the gravitational shear cannon, but in jagged, uneven pieces as their hulls failed under forces they were never built to withstand. War Master Drosk's ship is still intact, Do-hyun reported. It has stronger hull reinforcement. Focus the field in their direction, Sumin ordered. The distortion shifted, concentrating toward the Krell flagship. For a moment it seemed to resist, then its hull began to buckle. They're powering up their engines, Taewon said. Trying to escape. Sumin watched as the massive Krell vessel turned away, parts of its outer structure breaking off. 3 of the smaller Krell ships that had survived followed it. They're retreating, Ji-hoon said, disbelief in his voice. Turn off the quantum field, Sumin ordered, before it damages us more. Mi-suk quickly shut down the makeshift weapon. The strange distortion of space faded away, stars returning to their normal appearance. Silence fell on the bridge. Then slowly the crew began to realize what had happened. We won, Do-hyun said quietly. We beat the Krell. Sumin looked at the damage reports coming in on her screen. The Thunderchild was badly hurt. Multiple hull breaches, power systems damaged, 12 crew members injured, 3 seriously, but they were alive, and they had defeated the most feared battle fleet in the galaxy. "Captain," Ji-hoon called. "Message coming in. It's from the Lumina ship that was waiting to meet with us." "On screen," Sumin ordered. The crystal face of Illumina appeared. Their voice was melodic like chimes. "Captain Park, we observed your battle. What we saw, it changes everything." "What do you mean?" Sumin asked. "Word of this victory will spread," the Lumina said. "Many races who feared to stand against the Krell and the old council powers will find courage now. You have created a moment that will reshape the galaxy." Sumin nodded slowly. "That was always our hope." "Repair your ship," the Lumina continued. "When you are ready, we and the others who would be your allies will meet with you. Together, we will create a new balance of power." As the message ended, Sumin turned to her crew. "Misuk, begin repairs. Ji-hoon, send word to Earth about what happened here. Do-hyun, keep sensors active. The Krell might come back with reinforcements." The crew moved to carry out her orders, working with new energy despite their exhaustion. Sumin walked to the front of the bridge and looked out at the stars. They had just changed the course of galactic history. The silence of space had truly been broken, and humanity's voice would now be heard throughout the stars. 3 months passed. The Thunderchild, once badly damaged, now flew at the head of a small fleet. Behind it came 4 other Earth ships, newly built with the same technology. And behind them flew ships from 3 other species: the crystal vessels of the Lumina, the ring-shaped ships of the Teth, and the golden pyramids of the Solari. Captain Sumin Park stood on the bridge of the Thunderchild, watching the stars. Her uniform was new, with added gold markings on the shoulders showing her promotion to fleet captain. The crew worked quietly around her, their movements now smooth with practice and confidence. 5 minutes until we reached the Nexus, reported the navigation officer. Sumin nodded. The Nexus was the great space station where the Galactic Council met. Today would be a historic day. "All ships report ready," said Ji-hoon from his communication station. 3 months had changed him. He was thinner with a small scar on his cheek from the battle with the Krell. "Good," Sumin replied. "Open a channel to Admiral Kim's ship." The main screen lit up, showing Admiral Dae-ho Kim on the bridge of the Earth vessel Defiant. He wore a formal uniform with many medals. "Are you ready, Captain Park?" he asked. "Yes, Admiral. The fleet is in formation. Our allies are with us." Admiral Kim smiled. It was a tired smile, but genuine. "You've done well, Sumin. Because of you and your crew, we arrive at the council not as beggars, but as equals." "The path was not easy," Sumin said quietly. Both of them knew what she meant. The fighting had spread after the battle at the Helios pulsar. The Krell had attacked Earth directly, only to be defeated by the planet's new defenses. The Vraxians had tried to destroy the sanctuary outpost again, but the Teth had protected it. All across the galaxy, the old balance of power was shifting. "It's time to end the fighting," Admiral Kim said. "That's why today is so important." Sumin nodded. "We'll be alongside you, Admiral." The screen went dark. Sumin turned to her crew. "All stations, prepare for arrival at the Nexus. Security teams on full alert." "You think there might be trouble?" Do-hyun asked from his tactical station. "I hope not," Sumin replied. "But we should be ready." The small fleet moved through space, a symbol of the new alliance between Earth and 3 former council races. Together, they had fought off the Krell and the Vraxians. Together, they had shown that the old powers could no longer rule unchallenged. "Nexus, station in visual range," announced the sensor officer. On the main screen, the Nexus appeared. It was huge, like a giant wheel in space. Lights covered its surface, and ships of many designs moved around it. "They've sent a guidance beam," Ji-hoon said. "We're cleared to approach Docking Bay 7. "Follow the beam," Sumin ordered. "Maintain defensive shields until we're docked." As the Thunderchild approached the station, Sumin could see other, ships watching them. Some belonged to species she recognized, others were new to her. All seemed wary of the Earth ship that had changed the galaxy. "Captain," Taewon called from his station. "The ship's AI has detected unusual energy readings." "From the station?" Sumin tensed. "Weapons?" "No," Taewon replied, looking surprised. "It appears to be a greeting display." As the Earth fleet drew closer, lights on the Nexus began to flash in patterns. Colors flowed across the station's surface. "It's a traditional council welcome," Mi-suk explained. "Usually reserved for honored guests." Sumin felt a weight lift from her shoulders. Perhaps today would go well after all. The great chamber of the council was quieter than usual. Many seats were empty. The Krell had left the council completely. The Vraxians were present but subdued. Several other species watched with careful, neutral expressions. Admiral Dae-ho Kim stood in the center of the chamber. Captain Sumin Park stood beside him. Behind them were the representatives of the Lumina, the Teth, and the Solari. High Speaker Kryvax, his four eyes blinking nervously, spoke first. "The Council recognizes Admiral Kim of Earth and his allies." He said the last word as if it tasted. Bad Admiral Kim stepped forward. His voice was strong and clear as he addressed the gathered species. 3 months ago, this council threatened Earth. You demanded we destroy our ship, the Thunderchild. You called our technology dangerous and illegal." He paused, looking around the chamber. "Yet many of you were developing the same technology, in secret." Murmurs filled the room. Some representatives shifted uncomfortably. "We did not come to make accusations," Admiral Kim continued. "We came to offer peace. Earth doesn't want war. We never did. We only wanted to be treated as equals. And now you bring warships to our doorstep," Kryvax said, his voice sharp. "We bring ships to protect ourselves," Admiral Kim replied calmly. "As is our right. The same right all of you claim." The Lumina representative floated forward, their crystal body glowing softly. "The old ways of the Council are failing. Too many rules that benefit only the oldest species. Too much secrecy. Too little fairness." "What do you propose?" asked a new voice. It belonged to the representative of the Narvan, one of the oldest council races. "A new council," Admiral Kim said. "One where all species have equal voice. Where technology is shared, not hoarded. Where the strong do not bully the weak." For a long time, no one spoke. Then, slowly, representatives began to stand or signal agreement in their own ways. First the younger races, then some of the older ones. Kryvax looked around, seeing the support growing. Finally, he too nodded. "The Council will vote on this proposal, but first we must end the current conflicts. The Krell must be made to stop their attacks." "They already have," Sumin said, speaking for the first time. All eyes turned to her. "Our intelligence reports that the Krell fleet is gathering for one final attack. Not on us, but on Earth itself." Alarm filled the chamber. Even those who disliked humans didn't want the Krell to destroy an inhabited world. "When?" Kryvax asked. "Very soon," Sumin replied. "We must return to Earth immediately." Admiral Kim turned to the Council. "We ask for your help, not just for Earth, but for the principle that no world should face destruction." After a moment's silence, the Narvan representative stood. "The Narvan will send ships." Others began to join in. Even Kryvax, after hesitating, nodded. "The Council will stand against this threat." The Thunderchild led the Allied fleet back to Earth at top speed. They exited quantum space near the moon, ready for battle. But there was no battle to fight. The Krell fleet had been stopped before it reached Earth, caught between the planet's defenses and the ships of the new alliance. From the bridge of the Thunderchild, Sumin watched as Earth came into view. It looked peaceful, blue and green and perfect. "Message from Earth Command," Ji-hoon reported. "They're asking us to join the defense line." "Set course," Sumin ordered. "It's time for the Thunderchild to take her place protecting our home." As the Earth's first Star Destroyer moved into position, Sumin thought about the journey that had brought them here. from being threatened and dismissed by the Council to forming a new alliance that would reshape the galaxy. It had not been easy. There had been losses and pain. But now, as the quantum drives of Earth's growing fleet engaged, creating a spectacular display of light visible from the planet's surface, Su-Min knew that humanity had found its voice among the stars. The silence of space was no more. And humanity would never again be alone in the darkness. On Earth, people looked up at the night sky and saw the lights of the fleet. They didn't know all that had happened, or all that would come, but they understood one thing clearly. The universe had changed, and humanity had helped change it. And the stars, once silent and distant, now seemed a little closer to home.